Hey everybody, today we're going to talk about press plates with stiff slab. Now the first thing that we're going to need is some sort of mold that we can press into the clay, a sheet of paper, a pair of scissors, and a ruler. And if you don't have a block of wood for a mold, you can use a couple pieces of cardboard glued together. You just have to make sure they're stiff enough. You also need some sort of cushion. You can use your couch cushion, just make sure you cover it up. You can use an old pillow, whatever you want. Now I'm going to take my block of wood, I'm going to go ahead and trace around it. We're going to make a little template for the size of our slab. I'm also going to take my ruler. It's about 1.5 inches wide. This is going to be the rim of our plate. I'm just tracing around this, and then we're going to mark the corners. The reason why we want to mark the corners is we need to cut out a little chunk, so when we press it, it has some room to move. If we don't do this, the corners may be a little bit floppy. If you're feeling adventurous, try out what happens with both. Otherwise, just follow along, and yours should turn out just fine. Go ahead and cut out your template. You'll see in just a moment how we cut out the corners. You want to give a little bit of width so you're not cutting directly on the line. This will help the mold fold up nicely. Next, we're going to grab our slab. Now, the slab that we're working with has been set up for a couple days. Just in a plastic bag with some newspaper on it, so it is a stiff slab. You don't want to do this while it's still wet, otherwise you'll push straight through the bottom. So you can see it's pretty stiff. You can still bend it. It doesn't really take a pinch, but it is considered a stiff slab. Now we're going to go ahead and lay this out, put our template on top, and then we're going to go ahead and quickly trace around it just for reference. Now, once we've done that, we can go ahead and take our block and center it just to make sure it's the right size. We have it oriented correctly. Then we can take our wood knife or a fettling knife if you have one, and just go ahead and cut straight through all the way around. Go ahead and take off the excess, and then we're going to score the inside cuts just on the corners. You can use a needle tool, you can use one of the scoring tools if you've got one. You just want to rough those up and bevel them slightly so they fit together nicely when you press it. And because this is stiff slab, we need to use a little bit of slip just in the joints. Just apply a little bit of that, and then here comes the fun part. We're going to put it on top of our pillow or our cushion, put our mold in the center, and then you're going to push down firmly, but not super hard. You can push too hard and just press it straight through the cushion, so you need to be a little bit careful here. And if your slab is too wet, you will definitely push straight through it, so please be careful when you do that. You can put an old towel or an old t-shirt or something on a couch cushion or a pillow, something that you can wash. Then we're going to clean up the edges, make sure they're connected really well. And then that's pretty much it. That's the base for our plate. You can adjust the lip. They don't have to just be flat. You can kind of push them out, use a little bit of water. This is up to you. This is just extra design at this point. You want to make sure your seams are pretty good. If you want to lay in a coil in those corners, it will hold extra strong. And then we finish it up with a sponge just to make those sides nice and smooth. And that's our press plate.